What if stress didn't have to control your life, but could instead be managed and even mastered? In Burnout, the secret to unlocking the stress cycle, Emily Nagoski and Amelia Nagoski uncover the science behind stress and offer practical strategies to break free from its grip. This is the story of how I learned to complete the stress cycle, reclaim my energy, and live a more balanced life. By understanding the physical and emotional mechanisms of stress, I discovered how to regain control and transform my daily struggles into opportunities for renewal. The Nagoski sisters explain that stress is a physiological response designed to help us survive threats. However, in modern life, many stressors don't resolve themselves as quickly as our bodies expect. This leaves the stress cycle incomplete, leading to chronic tension and burnout. Completing the cycle, a process that involves addressing the physical effects of stress, is essential for emotional and physical well-being. I realized that I had been carrying unresolved stress for years. Deadlines, conflicts, and daily responsibilities piled up without a clear resolution. The idea of completing the stress cycle resonated with me, and I decided to implement their strategies. By understanding that my body needed a clear signal to release stress, I could begin making intentional changes. I learned that completing the stress cycle is not a one-time fix but a recurring practice. Simple actions like deep breathing, exercise, or even a good cry could help reset my system. This chapter taught me that stress isn't just mental, it's deeply rooted in our biology. By addressing stress at its source, I could start to break free from its overwhelming grip and create space for calm and clarity. One of the most effective ways to complete the stress cycle, according to the Nagoski sisters, is through physical activity. Movement signals to the body that the danger has passed, allowing it to return to a state of calm. Physical activity doesn't have to be intense. Even small movements can make a significant impact. I began incorporating daily walks into my routine, even if they were only 10 minutes long. On particularly stressful days, I turned to dancing or a quick workout to release pent-up energy. These small changes had an immediate impact on my mood and energy levels. As I moved, I imagined releasing the stress stored in my muscles and letting it dissipate. Over time, I experimented with different forms of movement, such as yoga, stretching, and even playful activities like jumping rope. Each activity offered a unique way to reconnect with my body and release tension. This chapter reminded me that movement doesn't have to be strenuous to be effective. The simple act of moving my body became a powerful tool for managing stress and restoring balance, helping me approach each day with renewed energy. The Nagoski sisters emphasize that rest is not a luxury but a necessity for combating burnout. They explain the value of deep rest activities that replenish our physical, emotional, and mental reserves. Sleep, relaxation, and creative pursuits all play a role in this process. Rest isn't just about stopping, it's about intentionally nurturing ourselves. I began prioritizing rest by setting a consistent bedtime and creating a calming evening routine. I also allowed myself to take breaks throughout the day without guilt, whether it was reading a book, practicing mindfulness, or simply sitting quietly. These moments of rest helped me recharge and approach my responsibilities with renewed focus. Additionally, I discovered the benefits of active rest, like engaging in hobbies that brought me joy and relaxation. Painting, journaling, and spending time in nature became essential parts of my routine. This chapter taught me that rest is an essential part of productivity. By giving myself permission to rest, I found that I was able to accomplish more without feeling drained. Rest became a powerful act of self-care that helped me sustain my energy and creativity. Social connection is another critical component of completing the stress cycle. The Nagoski sisters explain that positive interactions with others, whether through a hug, laughter, or meaningful conversation, can help signal safety to the body. Human connection provides a sense of belonging and reassurance that we're not alone in our struggles. I made an effort to spend more time with friends and family, even during busy weeks. A heartfelt conversation or shared laughter became a simple yet profound way to release stress. I also discovered the power of community, whether through joining a group or attending events that aligned with my interests. These connections helped me feel supported and understood. I also started practicing small acts of kindness, like complimenting a coworker or helping a neighbor. These moments of connection not only brightened someone else's day, but also helped me feel more grounded and positive. This chapter reminded me that we're not meant to navigate stress alone. By nurturing my relationships, I found a sense of comfort and resilience that made challenges feel more manageable. Perfectionism, the Nagoski sisters argue, is a significant contributor to burnout. They emphasize the importance of embracing imperfection and setting realistic expectations for ourselves. Letting go of the need to be perfect allows us to focus on what truly matters and frees us from unnecessary stress. I began challenging my perfectionist tendencies by setting boundaries and prioritizing tasks. Instead of aiming for flawless results, I focused on doing my best within the time and resources available. This shift reduced my stress and gave me more time for self-care. I also practiced self-compassion, reminding myself that mistakes are part of growth and learning. One strategy that helped was reframing perfectionism as a desire for excellence balanced with self-kindness. I started celebrating progress rather than obsessing over outcomes. This chapter taught me that perfectionism is not a badge of honor, but a barrier to well-being. By accepting that good enough is often good enough, I freed myself from unnecessary pressure and found greater joy in the process. Burnout isn't just about doing too much. It's about feeling disconnected from purpose. The Nagoski sisters emphasize the importance of aligning our actions with our values and finding meaning in our daily lives. A sense of purpose acts as a buffer against stress and provides motivation during challenging times. I began reflecting on what truly mattered to me and made adjustments to align my life with those priorities. Whether it was volunteering, pursuing a creative passion, or spending time with loved ones, these activities brought a renewed sense of purpose. I also started setting intentions each morning to remind myself of my goals and values. Finding meaning didn't require grand gestures. It was about appreciating the small, meaningful moments in everyday life. This chapter reminded me that meaning is a powerful antidote to burnout. By focusing on what brings joy and fulfillment, I found the strength to navigate challenges with greater resilience. Purpose became my anchor, guiding me through life's inevitable ups and downs. In the final chapter, the Nagoski sisters provide actionable steps for maintaining balance and preventing burnout. They emphasize the importance of integrating stress-reducing practices into daily life and revisiting them regularly. Long-term well-being, they explain, requires consistency and adaptability. I created a personalized plan that included physical activity, rest, connection, and mindfulness. By committing to these habits, I built a foundation for lasting well-being. I also learned to recognize the signs of burnout early and address them before they escalated. Journaling became a valuable tool for tracking my progress and identifying areas that needed adjustment. This chapter taught me that self-care is not a one-time fix, but an ongoing practice. By prioritizing my health and well-being, I created a life that felt more sustainable and fulfilling. I discovered that small, intentional actions could have a profound impact over time, helping me stay resilient and centered. Burnout. The secret to unlocking the stress cycle taught me that stress doesn't have to define my life. By completing the stress cycle and prioritizing rest, connection, and purpose, I began creating a life of balance and resilience. What steps can you take to break free from the cycle of stress? Remember, the journey to well-being starts with small, intentional actions that empower you to thrive. Each choice you make to care for yourself brings you closer to a life of greater peace and fulfillment.